Okay, this is just something that drives me nuts every time the football season rolls around. Coming to you live on Vimo. And that is the Washington Redskins. Now, every year, a group of groups of Native American activists whine and cry about the Washington Redskins football name. You know, I made an analogy on my YouTube channel of the same name that feminists, especially in the Western world, really don't have anything left to fight for, so they're left whining and crying about movies and books and just trivial shit, which is making their movement look, well, retarded. But the Native Americans, on the other hand, they have some real problem. They've got a sky high unemployment rate that doesn't matter if we're in a recession or not. They've got a high depression rate, high suicide rate, an appalling high school dropout rate, a catastrophic alcoholism rate, a drug use up the ass. Anything else that I missed here? But do they focus their efforts on getting their community back up and on its feet so maybe things aren't so bad? No. They'd rather whine and cry about what happened to them 150 years ago, which, okay, yes, it was wrong. But I'm not going to feel bad about it because I didn't do it. My grandpa didn't do it. Maybe my great-great-great-grandpa, maybe, but I didn't. So I'm not going to feel bad. And second, it happened a century and a half ago. How long are you going to keep going on about it? And even longer than that, before that. So yeah, it happened, but yeah. But maybe you should worry about Native American activists. Maybe you should worry about today and helping the new generation of American Indians hoist themselves up, have some pride once again, you know, get a job, go to college, all that, you know, become productive members of society. Instead, you ignore the crippling alcoholism, drug use, depression, suicide, unemployment, and instead you focus on football and stuff that really doesn't matter. Because either you're too lazy to fix those problems or you have no idea how. Now, maybe if you fix those problems and you got your house in order, then maybe it'd make more sense to move on to football. Or maybe you'd realize that, hey, it's just football. It doesn't freaking matter. This is quite frankly something I do not get. I really don't. Superman and Jesus. Can somebody please explain to me how Superman is a correlation for Jesus? Now, I'm not a religious man, and I'm not a comic book reader. Maybe this is why I'm not getting this connection. Jesus, as far as the story goes, came to Earth, he was the Son of God, died for our sins, and blah, 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 and saves us all. Superman, on the other hand, is an alien, came to Earth, was raised by adopted parents, decides to adopt the Earth as his new home, and saves the day every 20 minutes, along with causing millions of dollars in property damage. Where in the hell is the Jesus correlation? He didn't die. He died against Doomsday, but he beat the shit out of a bunch of other people. And he wasn't dying for our sins. We weren't bad people. I do not get the Jesus connection with Superman. He also didn't arise from the grave 3 days later. It took how many months in the comic book series? I am not getting the Jesus Christ and Superman. I have never been able to make this connection. A lot of my friends say there's a connection, say the Superman story is the Jesus story. Hell, I even think the nostalgia critics said it. But could somebody explain to big stupid me? I do not see the connection. There isn't one. And I'm not defending either story as Superman is anti-Christian or defending the Jesus story as this wonderful sacred thing. I'm just saying the two stories do not really match. If somebody can explain to me how they do, because I don't recall Jesus flying around and punching an evil dark lord through about 14 skyscrapers. Conversely, I don't recall Superman walking in the fucking desert and embracing hookers and shit. I do not get the story. I do not get the correlation between the two stories. So if somebody would care to explain to me that, I'd be more than happy to listen. What's up, Daily Motion viewers? And I know that friggin' I made this video already on YouTube, but this really does piss me the fuck off. Is the moms, the two moms. the mom that says she was fit shaming because she posted the now famous "What's Your Excuse" poster with her in really good shape and her 3 small kids. And then, of course, everybody said, well, I think those boys need their mommy more than you need washboard abs, even though both of these moms are stay-at-home moms, and they both have a fucking husband there. Is the dad not supposed to also take care of the kids for a couple of hours so mom can slip away to the gym? I mean, I am sick to death of this. I mean, when in the flying fuck did mediocrity become okay? When a mom can just throw up her hand and say, well, I can't get in shape, I gotta be a big fat fucking slob because I have kids and I don't have time to work out. Bullshit! I mean, there's a lot of hours in the fucking day. It's just most people are content to sit on their ass. And nothing wrong with that. But don't sit there and whine and cry and piss and moan about why you're fucking fat. I mean, Jesus Christ. I've been making videos almost every day because of the Christmas season, and you don't hear me complaining about it. Videos don't edit and make themselves. It's fucking just ridiculous. And then the people that actually do work out, that do look great, that are in shape, they're the ones that get criticized. Oh, you're fit shaming or fat shaming me. Fuck you. You're fat because you like to sit on your goddamn ass, watch television, and eat fucking ho-hos. That's why you're fucking fat. Get up off your ass and go to the fucking gym. Sorry, there's no excuse. When the fuck did we accept this sort of slovenly, fat society? And then it's not just that, but in years past, the fat guy was basically says, yes, I'm fat, but it's my fault. Now it's like, oh, it's not your fault, even though you're scarfing down pizza. Like me, I'm fat. I know I have to start doing something about it, but here's the thing. I can tell you exactly why I'm fat. I like beer, I like pizza, and I like to sit on my ass. Duh! And when I start losing weight, now I have to make a real serious attempt, not any medical reasons, but I'd like to avoid before I have to do it for medical reasons, is I'm not gonna have to go to a food coach, I'm not gonna have to get a personal trainer, I'm not gonna have to go to a food therapist or a therapist, I'm not gonna have to get a counseling group, I'm not gonna have to get a food diet buddy, I'm not gonna have to get anything! Nothing! Why? Because I'll just change my diet a little bit and get my fat ass on the treadmill. Fuck! But once again, that's society. Now, out of all this PC-sensitive bullshit, if you're a woman, and especially if you're a mom, and you look thin and pretty and gray in very little clothing, shame on fucking you, you fat-shaming bitch. Well, you know what? I say to all you fat fucking cows stuffing your face with donuts, here's a thought. Maybe men would find you more desirable, and maybe your husband would still touch you if you get up off the fucking couch and lose 50 pounds. Okay, Richard Sherman has apologized for his little rant or WWE promo at the Seahawks game. Me personally, I seen it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought it was great, actually. But of course, predictably, a bunch of fucking people said, oh, it was poor sportsmanship. Oh, it was this. And of course, the predictable line of, well, my son watches football and he looks up to these guys, and what message is that sending to him? It sends a message to me that you're a lazy fucking parent and relying on NFL players to raise your kid. He cut a fucking wrestling promo. So fucking what? It's a highly competitive environment. What the fuck? He's supposed to say, oh geez, well, you know, we played our hearts out, we played really well. That's every fucking professional athlete. It was nice to see a fucking speech that didn't fucking involve, you know, we wanted to play hard today and we wanted to win and we won, and the other team, they're great, they played hard, but we just played a little bit better, and you know, blah 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 blah, fuck you, blah. I'd like a professional athlete to do that. You know, call out a guy or say, you know what, we won because the other team fucking sucked. I mean, I am so sick of this every time. You know, this slight movement to anything other than ultra PC is viewed as it must be looked down upon, and how dare he, and what about sportsmanship, and what about my kid? You know what? It's a fucking game. He was hyped up, he was wired up, highly competitive. The guy did do a dickhead move, but the 49ers player that he kind of gave shit to did a dickhead move before that, and, you know, he went with it. So fucking what? So what if he cut a promo? Then football might be a little bit more interesting, even though I do like it, but at least the interviews might be a little bit more fuck. Why the fuck do we have to have these athletes paragon of fucking sportsmanship and virtue? What, for your fucking kids? Fuck that! Here's a thought. Maybe you should get up off your ass and not rely on that fucking television to raise your kids or teach them fucking sportsmanship. You know, I was listening to Jason Lewis, and by the way, what's up, Daily Motion viewers? I was listening to Jason Lewis yesterday, I believe it was, and he was going on and on and on about traditional families, gay marriages, and how states like Virginia have basically taken their voter-made mandate, their voter-made law, and had it ripped out from under them, and how he finds this so appalling. Well, really, Jason, if you knew anything about fucking traditional families, you know that one man, one woman, based on a mutual attraction, is fucking incredibly new. Most single marriages, as in monogamous marriages, were arranged. If we want to really have the traditional family, or the family that has been most prevalent throughout our histories as a species, it ain't one man, one woman. It's one man and many women. That has been the dominant form of marriage in our culture, or in our history of a species. Hell, works for me. But the reason why these laws have been ripped out, and they should be ripped out, is that the founding fathers did not intend our Constitution and our country where the rights of one are trampled on even by the majority. And that's what you're doing with these things. And that's exactly what, yeah. So yes, the people may have voted it in, but they had no right to do so because it tramples on the rights of other people just because they're different. Jason Lewis, as much as you like to sit there and proclaim how the founding fathers would puke at where they see the left, they puke at what they see the right doing too, okay? The founding fathers wouldn't have given a rat's ass about gay marriage. You want to know why? And I can prove this. You know the song Yankee Doodle? You know, Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in her cap and called it macaroni. Okay, we all sang that as kids? Okay, there was a club called the Macaroni Club. It was in Boston, I think, or New York, where a bunch of fine young dandy gentlemen got together to have a good time. And most of the gentlemen that went to this club were not exactly interested in the company of ladies. Now, when the British were pissed with us, they wrote this song, basically calling us us all Yankees, and in a way, if you want to bridge the gap, calling us a bunch of fat. We took this and we said, well, fuck it. It's a catchy little tune. Fuck it. Let's sing it. So, just so you know, no, there were gay clubs way back in the 1700s. And the founding fathers wouldn't have given a rat's ass if they married. They'd probably puke at the idea of a marriage license. They'd puke at the fact that marijuana is illegal. Remember, our goddamn document that supports the whole country, what it all started on, the Constitution, is wrote on hemp paper. And if you want to believe it was delivered by Jesus, then holy shit. That explains why God made the duckbook Bill Platypus now, doesn't it? He was high as a kite. Anywho, the reason those laws have been overturned is because they're not legal under the Constitution. You cannot discriminate against somebody just because they're different. And once again, if we want to go with traditional values and families, even the ones mentioned in the Bible, then polygamy has got to be legal. That's in the Bible. Just asking for a few bits of consistency with your arguments, Jason Lewis. And also, you're one of the few guys that will take Republicans' ass, but you argue for this small government. Well, then why the fuck is the government getting involved in our bedrooms anyway? Who cares? I don't think there should be a tax break for any marriage. And I don't think you have the right to tell two men they can't marry. What do you care? You're not in their bed now, are you? How is their marriage going to affect yours? It's not. I'm sorry, but I'm so sick of this hypocrisy with conservatives, with things like the legalization of marijuana, the continued legalization of gay marriage just because it's the right thing to do. You know, I'm sorry, but you guys are sitting there whining and bitching and moaning how your rights to free speech are being squashed by a, quite frankly, illegal IRS questionnaire. And yes, that is wrong and that must be dealt with. But at the same token, want to deny an entire group of people the same rights and privileges you enjoy just because you don't agree with them. And by the way, if anybody who sees this and disagrees with me can give me one good goddamn reason as to why gay marriage should not be allowed that does not have to do with their own personal religious beliefs or own personal beliefs, please make it. How does gay marriage damage us as a society? Because guess what? It doesn't. Because guess what? It's been around since the country was fucking founded. 47 Ronin, the samurai action flick starring Keanu Reeves. Even though Keanu Reeves has top billing in this movie, he's not seen for at least a third of it. I would hesitate to even call him the main character of the movie. It's actually some other guy. The action's nice, fights are cool. The story's not bad. It does take a while getting going. Once it does keep your interest. The acting's not terrible or as good as the acting can be in any movie that Keanu Reeves is in. So all in all, I'd rate it, it's worth a rental at Redbox. Maybe wait for it to come out for the Netflix streaming service or on your cable movie service. All in all, it's okay. Nothing special. I wouldn't add it to the DVD collection, but like I said, if you got nothing to watch one night and it's in your local Redbox, pick it up. And that's about all the movie's worth. Piss everyone else off today. Well, I'm not going to be talking about hair, so I should be safe. This is the today's Dear Amy column. Links in the description below. This is the second one. Dear Amy, recently my only sister's mother-in-law died after a long illness. Now, the fact that this fucker is saying, my only sister's mother-in-law, the fact that he would actually bring this up, my only sister's mother-in-law. Like what, you'd feel special if you, what? Your sister's mother-in-law, a woman that is Zippo relation to you. She died after a lung illness. Well, okay. I immediately asked my sister for details of a service. Forgive me for being cold, but why? She told me the funeral would only be for members of the immediate family, and I was not included. Well, I have news for you, but the mother of the guy that your sister married is not in your immediate fucking family. She's about as distant as you can fucking get. In fact, according to every state in this great United States of America, you could have started fucking that mother and married her, and nobody could have stopped you. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, how many times, I mean, if you know, oh God, she's not in your fucking family. God, I mean, I can maybe understand you feeling bad, but Jesus. He continues, Amy, this is a woman who has been in our family for more than 30 years. Okay, you had her over to events for more than 30 years. A frequent guest at my home. Once again, this is your brother-in-law's mother. Okay? She's not your mother-in-law. She's just some chick that happened to crap out the guy that your sister's shacking up with. She is someone I joined and laughed with for many years. Am I wrong to feel slighted? I am dumbstruck by my exclusion. You know, maybe they wanted to have a very private funeral. Maybe it was for your sister's husband's siblings. They didn't want to have this great big extensive family fucking funeral. You know, let them bury their mother the way they see fit. You're not really... Now, this guy really isn't wrong in feeling slighted on the other hand, either. Because if he did get to know this woman and did, you know, fucking, you know, get close with her or felt a sense of close, I could certainly understand at the moment, at news of her death, of feeling this way. But, dude, keep it in fucking perspective. She is the mother of the guy who your sister married, okay? She is no relation to you whatsoever. Personally, I don't like funerals anyway, so if I can avoid it, I'm going to. I have since learned that there was a priest at the funeral parlor and a graveside ceremony. Well, there usually is. But once again, if they just want it attended by a very small number of people, like immediate family, that's their right. Remember, this is their mom. Just because you felt a closeness with their mom doesn't give you proprietary rights to invade their burying their mother. She's not your mom, she's their mom. You know, it's like, fuck. And honestly, how close were you with this woman? Really? You probably had her over, he says frequent guest, but I'm gonna say once a month. That'd be about right for a big family get-together. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're the type of family that, I don't know, maybe does a shindig every week or something. Me, that drive me fucking nuts. But maybe I'm wrong here. I'm at a loss. I can't imagine that the family who shares holidays with me would not have wanted me there. Shouldn't my sister have been in my corner? This woman is gone. I can bear respects on my own, but I still have an unhappy memory mixed with in my wonderful memories of her. Well, here's a thought. Forget the unhappy one. You weren't at her funeral. I mean, let's put funerals what they are. The person is dead who's the center of attention, so they don't know and they don't care. Funerals purely benefit the living. You know, I mean, I can understand why you're grieving and why you feel this way, but just because somebody shared holidays with you, just because they were a guest in your home, does not make you her a son in any respect. You are, when it comes down to immediate family, a fucking outsider. Sorry, just the way it is, you know? My advice for this guy is to simply cherish the wonderful memories you have of her, always remember the good times, and fuck this one last bad time, you know? Maybe if you really feel like your feelings got hurt, call your sister and talk just with her. Don't bring it up to your brother-in-law. Remember, he lost his mom. You didn't lose anybody. You lost a friend. But, you know, I'll go so far as to say that you lost a friend, but you didn't lose a blood relative. He lost his mom. You lost a friend. Maybe talk to your sister if you really feel slighted. But, dude, really? I mean, get the fuck over it. The funeral was for immediate family, and I don't care how much time you spent with her, you're not fucking immediately, you're not the immediate family. And the fact that you wrote this out, and you started it with my only sister, it seems to me like you're a real overly sentimental and overly emotional fuck. Like you're the type of guy that cries when his childhood library burns down. And can't see the simple fact that all we've really lost is an inanimate building. So, that's just my thoughts on it. You know, I just found, like, really? You're really this hurt, this slighted? You know, me, I mean, shit, I try to avoid funerals like the fucking Black Plague. I don't get this guy's fucking, you know... I can understand it to a certain degree, how if he was this woman's friend, how he would be grieving, but really... I mean, you shared holidays, she's a guest in your home, whoopee. That, you know, I mean, if my aunt drops over if one of my aunts drops over dead, hopefully they won't, but when they do, you know, and they say the funeral's for immediate family only, well, I know her nephew ain't gonna be fucking invited to that shit because I'm not immediate family. I'm extended family. You know, fuck. And just get over it. Christ, you didn't go to a funeral. You know, a pretty boring goddamn function. So that's my thoughts on that. Cherish the good memories and get the fuck over it when, you know, fucking shit like that doesn't go right.